We're here on the very early in October. As you know, I always talk to you on our Evolution programme about the previous month. So just as a summary, how has September been?
September's been great, really. Started off a little bit quiet, so we were thinking, ooh, not so good. But we employed a fast track cash strategy for the end of the month, which has produced the goods for us. And in fact, we ended up at 29.76% up. So pleased with that.
So 29% or 29? No,
30%. 30%, yeah.
For September, based on the same month last year.
Yeah.
Excellent. So what has the summary performance been for the last 6 months now? So we've got time to see some a little bit of consistency. So how's that been?
Yeah, we're running now at 25% month-on-month growth. So.
Brilliant. Now, just in summary, and we may well have covered this previously, but what do you put that down to?
We've been driving little small areas in the practice, and it's that adds up. Our 5-7 business keys, and that has produced the overall growth. The key feature of being able to achieve that is, in fact, the motivation of the staff. So the motivation of the staff has let us drive those 5-7 keys, and that's produced the outcome.
So do you think this is open to any practice, or are there particular things that have meant that it's going to work for just you and not other practices?
I think it's open to any practice that wants it enough, but it's about you as the owner being able to sit back and let the staff drive it, really.
Okay, and let's talk a little bit more about this fast cash strategy then. Just tell me, because I know from talking to you, I think it broke all records for daily takings and weekly takings. So tell me a little bit more about what that was.
Yeah, we did. In fact, we broke the daily takings 3 times during the promotional period. So we were effectively 50 years old, so we've marketed that to our patients, saying we're having a celebration of this. We've been in the press, we've been utilising Facebook, we've done leaflet drops, and we've had positive feedback and cash, essentially, from all of those marketing strategies. We culminated in having a big party in the practice. We sent out 250 invitations, and we thought, well, we might get 30-40. Panicked when 140 odd said that they wanted to come along, but we managed the numbers, and we put champagne on canopies, and there was music, just a big thank you. We weren't treating it as a sales day, but that ended up as one of our biggest ever sales days. So
fantastic. Now, we've been doing this for 6 months, and I think every month has seen growth, possibly one where the half term was in different months, but over those 2 months it was growth. So this shows it's not just a fluke. What has this sort of growth meant for you and your confidence?
It's just fabulous. I mean, I'm now thinking acquisition, and we want to get bigger and roll this model out in other areas.
And so if somebody had said to you a year ago or 9 months ago that this was available to you, would you have believed it, or what made the difference of actually doing something different?
Of doing it, I can get bored pretty easily, really, and I need something to fire me up and stimulate me, and success does that. So we would be just sort of bumping along through this 5 years of recession, and I suppose I'd lost my mojo. It wasn't exciting anymore, and when I get like that, then we don't do as well. So it just forced me into it, really.
And so the Evolution programme was really that stick to beat you up, or the carrot to motivate you?
The catalyst, really. And I like being able to share and talk to other practitioners, and that's good, that sort of intimate feeling. You're not stuck on your own in your consulting room doing it all yourself, coming up with the ideas. and now my staff are coming up with more ideas than myself.
Yeah, well, I'd like to just ask you a little bit about that, because I know from hearing from you that the staff are now incredibly fired up. You've put a bonus scheme in place for them. How has that changed them? I mean, they were loyal staff and they've been with you for years, but suddenly you've seen such a change in level of performance. Can you just describe that and what that's meant?
Yeah, I mean, I'm very, very lucky with my staff. You rightly say they've been with me 86 years between them, 30 years, 25 years, 16 years and 15 years. I often say I've not had to do an interview in 15 years, which is great. So very loyal staff. But we wanted to drive growth, and they've been with me so long, and I wanted to give them something, so we decided to give them a percentage of growth. So we set up a strategy where they are paid a percentage of growth at the end of the month, and then that's 50% of their percentage, and 50% of the remainder is put into a pot for 12 months. We've linked that to 16 key performance indicators, so each of my members of staff are involved in driving 4 of those. So it gives them ownership of particular areas. These are all linked around our 5 and 7 keys. So we're driving in these specific areas. They've got responsibility for that, and that 50% of the bonus there's a target set to it. So if they don't meet the target, they don't get all the bonus. So there's a driver there as well. Having said that, it's more about how they feel themselves. They feel empowered by the decision processes that they now take and I step back from, and that in itself has just fired them up and given them extra pride, extra worth, and it's fabulous to see.
And we're already a week into October. How is October looking?
October is looking like we're going to do it again. So touch wood. But it's been a very good start. So if we can nail this this second week, then we're virtually there, I think.
Steve, thank you.
Pleasure.
So Mike, we've been on the Evolution programme now for 5 months, and you went on the pilot, so you started on the main one.
Yeah.
Just in summary, how's it been for you? How's the process been? You've been to everyone, so how's it been for you?
I found it a little bit difficult first. I felt as if I was catching up a little bit initially with not being on the pilots. But once I got into the swing of it, I realised that all these good ideas that I've had in the past and gone to these meetings, I wasn't really putting into action plans and sort of carrying them through. And the Evolution package has helped me sort my ideas out to plan much better for the future, and get all these ideas actually sort of turn them into sort of solid, helpful sort of action plans that have been driven through the practice and starting to improve profits.
Okay, I was going to say that was my question. It's great to have lots of ideas and get a day out of practice and share ideas with other practice owners, but are you actually delivering real results from it so far?
It's starting to, definitely. Over the past few years we've been sort of down 10% each year for the past 3 years, whereas previous to that we was always increasing profits. And now this year we've turned that around and we're starting to show an increase in the profits. So I'm quite pleased with that, really, and I hope to do more over the next 6 months and 12 months.
So what would you say to a practice owner who was thinking, well, I'm not sure going on something like that, whether it would work for me? Can this work for everybody, or does it only suit a particular type of owner, do you think?
I don't see why it wouldn't work for everybody, really, because there's always strategies that you can pick up from, if not from sort of the initial sort of seminars and lectures, just from other people on the course, which is probably as good as actually sort of turning up, talking to other people, see what other people do, and between you can work out any particular problem and make an action plan and sort it out. So,
Mike, thanks for sharing that, and good luck for the future.
Thank you very much.
So Vic, we've been on Evolution for 5 months now, so just basically tell us sort of what you feel about the programme, because obviously we're looking, there's a bit of a recruitment drive, and I'm looking as to the delegates to sort of tell us, how they've been doing it really and what they feel about it.
Okay. I feel when I first arrived on the Evolution programme, I was a little lost in all the marketing speak. That has been clarified for me now. I see it as a way of putting into practice what I've already been told on other courses and day events. You get the buzz, you go home, and you instigate nothing. I think the fact coming here monthly, interacting with other practitioners who are in a similar boat, is enabling me to implement those ideas and hopefully drive my business forward.
So have you seen growth yet, or is it still potential that you're looking at?
It's still potential, partly down to me not instigating things as I should, and it's about me giving up total control, letting other people. Delegation is the buzzword of the moment.
And do you feel this process is going to help support you through that? For some people that might be a very difficult thing.
It is a difficult thing, but I'm sure it will, and I'm determined it will.
Okay, and what would you say to practices that are maybe, I'm not sure if that's for me, or do you think they will receive benefit or value for money?
I think anybody can receive benefit and certainly value for money.
Thank you for that, and good luck for the future.
Okay, thank you.
Carl, thanks. You've been on the Evolution programme for 5 months now. What's your sort of overall summary of it? I mean, we're hearing very different stories from practices that are growing a lot and some that are just still in that early stages. So I'll ask you a little bit about yours shortly, but what's your overall view towards it? Feeling? Are you going to benefit from it?
Overall, I mean, lots of new ideas coming through, but at the early stages, which I am at, it's just fitting it all into my daily routine is the most difficult part, but there are some good ideas coming through, most definitely.
And just we've reported growth. What was your growth for in the practice in September?
September was about 40% above target.
Well, that in itself is fantastic then.
It's a good target, yeah. It was a good
And
one.
can you put that down to some of the things that we've been learning here on Evolution, or was it just an odd month that like you maybe get these days? Or?
I would say it's probably directly linked to the improvements in the new price list, which is much more clearer for the patients to see as well.
Right.
How selling the benefits of certain lenses has certainly increased the turnover.
Would you say that being on the programme will benefit a practice and give them a return on investment, or does it depend on the particular practice owner or manager who comes along, or do you think any practice could get benefit?
Any practice can benefit, most definitely, as long as you do put the work in that you're asked to do.
So I'm sort of getting that's a little bit of a challenge area. You actually have to make some time as well in the business.
You have to put the time in, you have to make the commitment somehow or another. And obviously when you're testing 5 days a week, 9 till 5:30, it can be quite difficult to squeeze things in. But to make it work, you have to do it.
So it isn't just a magic pill that you can come one day a month and do nothing else and see the changes, but if you actually implement the changes, then you'll see the growth.
I wish it was a magic pill, unfortunately. No, you have to implement the changes which you're recommended to do, and when you do it, then certainly there are benefits to be had.
Okay, and can I ask, are you enjoying the programme?
Yes, I am.
You are. Great, thanks Colin. Good luck for the future.
Thank you.
Steve, we're here on Evolution. We've been 5 months now, and you just reported performance over the last month, which is really good. Could you just share that with me again on camera?
Yeah, over the last month we've seen an overall increase in turnover about 12%. Average order value has gone up about 20%, and site tests have gone up about 20% as well.
Excellent. So, could I just ask you, what are you getting? What are the major benefits you're getting out of the Evolution program?
It focuses you on what you really should be doing yourself. Obviously, concentrating on the business itself. It highlights where your weaknesses are, so you can develop it to get real growth, I suppose.
Yeah. And what would you say to is this suitable for all practices, or does it depend on the business owner's personality, do you think, or is it suitable to realise growth for any practice?
I think it's suitable for anybody. Anybody that thinks they can't grow, I think is probably fooling themselves.
Okay.
And the group that's together at the moment, obviously we've all got slightly different practices and slightly different needs, and it seems to all be pulling in the same direction.
And do you get much benefit from sharing ideas across the people as well as the theory that's introduced from the front, shall we say?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, it's nice to sort of interact with fellow business owners on a monthly basis, basically, picking up ideas and obviously bouncing ideas off them in order to push things forward.
Well, and congratulations on your result last month, and long may it continue for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Cheers, thanks.
Martin, thank you. We're here at Evolution 5. Now, you normally come and join us at London, but here you are in Manchester today for various reasons, so with a different group of people. But first of all, can I just ask you, how will you summarise Evolution? What are the sort of things that you've been getting out of it, because you've attended every one? So what are the benefits so far for you, would you say?
Well, evolution is all about change, and practices have to change to survive, and even the most proactive practices probably still don't change enough. So it's always looking at new ideas, bouncing ideas off of other people, and that's one of the great things about evolution, getting together and actually getting the ideas off other people so you don't have to think about them yourselves. Obviously the whole process of evolution is all about giving you the structure to be able to make it work, and then it's just down to you to actually do something and make it work, because if you don't do anything different, nothing changes. If you do something different, then there's the opportunity then of making it work better.
So do you feel that evolution would benefit practices that are looking for growth but not quite sure how to realise it? Maybe they've heard lots of good things at road shows or seminar days but never actually implemented it. Would evolution give them the impetus to do that, would you say?
I would hope so. You can do a lot of workshops, a lot of day seminars, you can write down lots of action points, you go back to the practice, you don't do anything different. Evolution will hopefully give them the structure then to be able to work with that and actually start to implement some of those changes, and actually then give them the structure to be able to monitor that, to change it as well if necessary, because what you start doing differently may not be what you need to end up doing to make the difference.
And how have you find the sharing of ideas, and because now you've been to Manchester and London, have you found that a benefit?
Personally, I think getting to see a different set of people has been really good, and I would recommend other people to actually make the journey and share that experience, because for me it is a lot about the sharing, about getting together with the different people, like-minded people, because that way you don't necessarily feel quite so lonely. When you are the boss of an independent practice, you know, you're it, and you can feel very lonely, and you're making decisions and you're always second-guessing yourself and wondering whether you're doing the right thing, and this certainly helps you make that decision and be happy with the decisions that you're making.
Great, thank you, and I think the Hoover is probably going to take over, so thank you very much and good luck.